Today we have another no backup plans build because one you in the comments was like, you only gotta wait for a threat level, just use perfect paradox. So I was like, okay, F it, I'll do the perfect paradox. And I'm not disappointed. It actually put out. I don't need threat level, okay? So I'm showing this amazing busted build. And of course, you know I gotta add my unique flair to it for you guys that makes this build very insane. Okay, this build, it would be perfect if I had the vault of glass armor, but I don't. So this is what we're gonna suffice with. But we will be rocking every elemental damage resistance in this build to allow you to go unga bunga with the shotgun without having to worry about any type of death happening to you. Okay, so like I said, we're using no backup plans. If you don't know what no backup plan does, it makes it that every time we get a shotgun or melee kill, our health starts to regenerate immediately. And then if we have any defensive buff on, so void over shield, amplify, restoration, cross armor, or weapon mail, our shotgun and melee kills do more damage, but also it increases the duration of those elemental buffs. So if I have Woven Mail on 5 seconds and I kill an enemy with a shotgun or melee kill, it'll make the timer go up 3 seconds. Okay. And then it increases the reload and airborne effectiveness for the shotgun. I believe it's 30 for both of them. Okay. The stats we're going for, you want to go as much in weapon stat and melee stat. That's all you really care for in this build. Nothing else matters. Okay. So try to get 200 melee and weapon. That's all you care for. The armor set we are using, because I don't have the Vault of Glass armor, is the 2-piece crystal cream. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm just call it crystal. We got the 2-piece crystal on so that we get more ammo progress, but also to make orb power after 12 seconds immediately whenever I kill someone. And then we have on 2-piece tech set so that our kinetic weapons can break enemy shields easy, so that we don't have to worry about that if enemies got like match game or something on and like -50 content GM. Okay. Again, I would prefer the 4-piece Vault of Glass armor. So just letting you guys know right now, if you have the 4-piece Vault of Glass armor, put that on instead. Okay. I repeat, put that on instead. Okay. So I bet y'all wonder what's going on here. Okay. So first off, perfect paradox. We are using perfect paradox with the God roll all-star and stopping power. All-star make it that collecting ammo make this weapon reload itself as well, and increase the damage of this weapon by 35%, and increase the reload speed of this weapon. And then all-star make it that this gun stagger enemies more easier. So every time you shotgun an enemy, they get flinched. But also too, if the enemy got low health, you do 30% more damage to them, I believe, or their health is 30%. Yeah, I believe something like that. Okay. And then we have on synergy so that whenever I get kills with the shotgun, it makes orbs of power because it's a kinetic weapon. There's really nothing else I could think to put on in this weapon. So that's what I went with, okay? We are using Red Death Reformed. I bet y'all like, bro, what? Red Death? Why we got Red Death on? This weak weapon? You're right. We are using this as a utility weapon. That's it. We will not be using it for anything else. You need the catalyst done for Red Death Reformed. Now, why are we using Red Death Reform? Because the catalyst make it that you get restoration when you kill 3 enemies. So we're gonna kill 2 enemies here, and you see it said Red Death Charge in the bottom left corner. So now if I kill a 3rd enemy, we're gonna get restoration, but not any type of restoration. We get restoration times 2. And then because of backup plans, we can just shotgun and kill people, and we'll keep restoration times 2 on forever in this build for Titans, allowing us to be an unstoppable force in this build, because y'all know how broken restoration times 2 is, and any type of healing properties while you have damage resist on is broken, and we will be having Woven Mail and stuff in this build. So Red Death is here for utility. If you see like a random thrall out there, or if you're in easier content like -30 as you see with this, if you're in -30 something like that, then it's very easy to use Red Death and get the restoration times 2 going. But if you're like -50, you want to kill like a thrall or a cursed thrall, or like, you know, a red name, a minor enemy, to get the perk going. Okay. And don't worry, when you stole the weapon, it still keeps progress. So if you kill one enemy, right? Well, two enemies, I should say. If you kill like two enemies, put the weapon away, start shotgunning some people, and then pull the weapon back out, don't worry, you still have the counters on your red death, okay? So you don't have to rush it immediately, but yeah, in easier content, it's way easier to pull this off to make yourself an unkillable force. We got refurbished on because of kinetic weapon as well, because we will be abusing the artifact. The main thing we're abusing the artifact is kinetic synthesis. This allows us to do sustained damage with kinetic weapons, and we'll get ammo for doing so. So if I bring the robots out here, and we just start shotgunning this robot, I'll have infinite ammo non-stop because we are making a kinetic brick. Y'all see the DPS, 3000 DPS from us having elemental buff on while shotgunning with this. And as y'all see, that's the ammo brick. I pick it up, it reloads the weapon for me, and we just keep doing that non-stop. Okay? So that's what makes this amazing with no backup plans, with insane DPS for killing enemies quick and hardened content. Okay? And of course, like I showed last time, that will reload the refurbish for you as well, even if you don't get the weapon out. So you can always be house swapping between the two, doing some good DPS. We have on power from pain, so when we kill weakened enemies, we get Devour in this build. Yes, you will have Devour in this build. We have on counter energy, so whenever we do stun a champion, we get some ability energy for our least charged ability. We got Singularity Blade on, so that whenever we got a Void Elemental buff on, aka gonna be a Void Overshield in this build. Any melee we do with weakened enemies, allowing us to try to get the power from pain proc going, but also too to do more damage to enemies. 15% weakening, so the shotgun do even more damage. What y'all just seen, the DPS is actually higher than that. If I decided to punch, it would have put radiant on, and it would have put weakening on them if everything is set up like it's supposed to while you're playing. And yeah, the DPS would have been even more higher than 3000 right there. We have on Armor Smith just so I can get that 10% damage resist whenever we break a shield on an enemy, but we also get the 100% melee damage whenever we do that, and break the enemy shield and whatnot. We got on Sniper Meditation to increase the damage of refurbish whenever we do shoot at bosses and stuff, do some dumb damage. And then we have on Void Infestation, so whenever we kill an enemy that is weakened, it'll go find a projectile will come out to go find somebody else to weaken them, making it way easier to power for pain. So far we have Restoration times 2 in this build, and then we have Devourer in this build. Now let's go to our subclass to show you guys how we got the other stuff in the build. We have on a Strand Super with Faceted Purpose, so whenever we pick up an Overpower, we get Within Mail for 5 seconds, and then we shotgun or melee somebody, it'll bump the number up to 10 seconds. And the same thing for Restoration with the Red Death. If we kill somebody Restoration times 2, we'll get it for 5 seconds, but the moment we start killing people with our melee and shotgun, we can get the Restoration times 2 timer to 15 seconds. So now we got Within Mail in this build for 24/7. Rally Barricade is busted. You put it out, enemies start hitting the barricade instead of you while you standing behind it. It'll increase your reload speed, range, and this is a good way to try to get that red death going at the beginning for that Restoration times 2. And the enemy splash damage won't be hitting you and whatnot. So this is a very good taunt to do to try to get that Restoration times 2 going first before you run in and start shotgunning everybody to death. We got shield throw on. Even though I hate the accuracy on the shield throw, it is god awful. An enemy can be in front of you, throw that mug, and it'll still miss. It's stupid. Bungie needs to buff it, but I know it'll never happen. This is how we get avoided overshield in our build. You throw this at an enemy, make sure you chest to chest with them so it doesn't miss at all. And yeah, this gets your void overshield going. You shotgun somebody after that, and you'll keep a void overshield on 24/7 in this build with the Within Mail. So now we got void overshield on with the extra overshield restoration and Within Mail going. We got on your grenade build if you want it to be able to pull shackle to immobilize enemies. You got knockout. Whenever you kill an enemy or break an enemy shield, you'll get knockout activated, increasing your melee damage by 160%, I believe. But after that, while knockout is active, if you punch and kill an enemy, you'll get amplified. So this is how you get amplified in the build. Shotgun, kill it, keep it up 24/7, enemies miss their shots. And then we have on Diamond Lance, whenever you kill an enemy with abilities, you'll make a Diamond Lance on the ground. And then if you slam a Diamond Lance on the ground with the heavy attack, you'll get frost armor ×2, and you can keep doing that to get your frost armor up to ×5, and then just keep shotgunning, killing people, and you'll keep that frost armor on 24/7. So now that's frost armor, void over shield, woven mail, amplified, and restoration ×2, making you unkillable in this build. Fragments, we have on Faster to Dawn. While Knockout is on, all our melees are considered power melees. So as long as you make sure you melee here and there while you're doing your shotgunning, you'll have Radiant on 24/7 as well, because you always have Knockout on, right? You'll have Radiant 5 seconds, and that'll make your weapon do 20% more damage. So as long as you just keep remembering to punch here and there with while you're shotgunning, you'll have Radiant up non-stop. We got on Faster Protection for the extra 15% damage resist while we're surrounded. Stack that with Transcendence, you'll have 32% damage resistance. Transcendence alone already gives 20%, so you don't have to be surrounded, but you're going to be surrounded non-stop keep shotgunning, right? We got on Faster to Hope to get us our barricade back quicker. You can replace this with like Faster to Courage if you want your melee to do more damage to enemies that are affected by darkness. But we don't really have no darkness debuffs going on in this build, so, you know, unless you free somebody with Diamond Lance, there's no darkness really going on here in this build. So we got this for our barricade to come back quicker. We got on Faster to Grace, so when we do get these shotgun kills, the kinetic weapon kills, we'll get our Transcendence bar up quicker. And then we have Faster Purpose for the woven mail. These two are flex slots. If you want 2 different fragments on, you definitely can go that route. They're not mandatory, so up to you. I don't know what you will replace it with, but yeah, they're there. I mean, you could go with Faster to Run to get that weapon stat up higher if you wanted to, but that's about it I can think of that you would use it for. Now, this is very important. Before we go on armor mods, I want to make sure I make this clear. In harder end content, like -50, if you know you're not skillful enough to activate restoration ×2 and then keep the loop going, I highly recommend you putting on whatever weapon you want in the energy slot for damage. It can be another special weapon if you want to, I don't care. Take off Red Death and then change your super to Hammer of Soul. Okay, so you can get your normal restoration going. You'll lose Woven Mail, but that don't matter. You got Void over Shield in this build, Amplified in this build, and Frost Armor. You need some type of healing capability happening while you have damage resistance on. Damage resistance means nothing if you're not getting health back. Okay? You cannot go Unga Bunga if your health is not regening while you Unga Bunging. Okay? So if you know you can't, if you know you're not confident in your skill to get Restoration 2 going with Red Death, just go Hammer of Soul and call it a day. Okay? Just go regular Hammer of Soul and then just kill with, you know, with whatever energy weapon you want to have in your energy slot. Okay? Now, armor mods. I got on Kinetic Siphon and Solar Siphon to make orbs of our weapons. One super fine, because I really don't care about the Strand Super at all. Unless you're running Stasis Super Titan, I really don't care for, or the Void one, obviously. I don't really care for the Strand Super or Solar Super. Arc is good too, Thunder Crash, of course. But I don't care about Solar or Strand Super on Titan. They very lackluster in my opinion. We got on 2 melee fonts to increase our melee damage, and then we got on Impact Induction so that our power melee gives some grenade energy back for shotgun grenade. Resist mods on our chest piece. I would say you want to change one of these to melee damage resist, because you're always close to enemies, so they'll do less damage, and then put on whatever element it is or that activity on for damage resist. We have on Kinetic Weapon Surge to make our Kinetic Weapon do 11% more damage. And then we got Solar Weapon Surge to help Red Death out, because again, it don't do that much damage. So this help you get that kill, so you get that Restoration ×2 going. We got on Invigoration, so when I pick up Oracle's Power, we get that Single Shield back as quick as possible, so that we can spam it to get Void Over Shield. That's why I say Vaulted Glass Armor is the way to go. So you always have the Single Shield on demand for that Void Over Shield in your build, because you need an elemental buff on to make your shotgun get that bonus damage from backup plans. So this will help you out keeping that Void Over Shield up for that damage resistance. And then we got Class Final on to help our class ability come back quicker. Special Finisher if I ever do need to finish remove somebody in harder end content to get some ammo for the shotgun, so then I can keep the combo going again with Kinetic Synthesis. If not, you can always shoot your Refurbish. That'll make a freaking kinetic brick out there, and you can pick that up, and then I'll get ammo for your shotgun, and you can start your loop again. And then we got Time Dilation on, so we can keep the armor charges on us for our spots and you know, surges in our armor set. Now, I do want to say the gameplay loop for this. The gameplay loop for this build is a grind fest. When I mean by grind fest, I'm talking as if like the build don't just go out, the build don't just work. I can't just throw an ability out and things just work. This is not stasis tight or whatever. This build is strictly you need to do a grind game to get all the buffs on you. But once you get all the buffs on you, you're good to go. But if you have no buffs on you, it's a struggle. If you die like mid boss fight, yeah, you're finna be struggling because it's not really a way for you to just immediately get a buff on you and then have the long timer on it. So treat this build like a kill streak build. If you lose your kill streak, you finna make it tough for yourself. So how you would do this build is you'll get the restoration times 2 going, right? Boom. And then you'll shotgun, but then you want to get a melee kill because you want to get a diamond lance. So then you can start getting your diamond lances up for your frost armor. Okay? So then that's what you want to make sure you keep mixing in some melee attacks in there to make them diamond lances so that you can finally get ×5 frost armor and then you're good. Now I have restoration times 2 up there with a melee for 10 seconds, frost armor, avoid overshield on, amplified is on. I got it all on. It's a grind build, okay? You're stronger as you keep getting kills, but you're not strong when you don't have kills. So you gotta work for it. It's just like hunters with combination blow ×3. You're real good when you got ×3 combination blow on, but the moment those stats go away, it's a struggle fest on trying to get the mugs back up to get your build running again. So keep that in mind, okay? But this build is very powerful if you do keep that kill streak going. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys as always. And until next time, stay up.